I'm just going to tell these guys that it's game 1 because they were in a lobby before this, warming up. But best of 5, Rw9, CRR. Let's get into it. Jay Franey, thanks to the 4-month Prime. Also brand new Prime from Jawbreaker, 12333. And Basil, thanks to the 2-month Tier 1. How are you doing, Basil? Kelpo4, thanks to the 11-month Prime. Welcome back to you as well. So, CRR, who I think, even despite having so much success recently, still continues to surprise everyone with his ability. I'm going to try and go even farther than before and beat Rw9. He's got some really big wins on his record. In fact, this might not even be the biggest win of his career, should he get it. His ones career, that is. Because he has beaten players like Moxie before. CRR, he's a demon in ones. He's beaten First Killer on LAN in a best of 1, of course, still. Rw9 is really rising up the ranks, and definitely, you know, when I made my tier list, I had him in A. He's definitely S tier now. CRR is trying to get there, so I'm putting Rw9 as the favorite to win this one, but it should be a very interesting matchup. Rw9, very solid in defense. He's extremely mechanical. He's very consistent as well. Like you rarely see a soft touch from this guy. If he means to hit it hard, he's gonna hit it hard. So I think Rw9 is definitely the favorite, but gonna be interesting to see just what CRR tries to do against him. Just how aggressively will CRR try to position, because that's, you know, what CRR is all about. He's about early challenges. He's about ball pressure, and you know, if he can establish that game against anyone, he's going to make them feel uncomfortable. Rw9 is looking pretty comfy in the lobby right now, trying to scoop a flip reset into the top corner. Love that touch there from Rw9. CRR was all over it though. Oh my goodness, CRR actually managed to turn that into an irritable demo, and he has scored. Well, you know, I did like that touch from Rw9 to pop the ball into what seemed like a decent location to buy him some time. But CRR, with absolutely no time wasted, launched himself into an offensive position and equalized the game. See, that's what CRR does. He just has these bursts of pace that makes everyone who plays him feel uncomfortable, often feel like they're second best when it comes to mechanics. When he played Jack was able to beat him on my channel recently, somewhat recently, and afterwards I was talking to Jack, commentating a different matchup, and Jack said that he felt like he was second best mechanically, but able to win strategically. And you know, I don't think that there was really entirely true. Everybody's got a different idea of what mechanics means. Was saved by CRR. Rw9 looks like he's recovered, but that was an unbelievable stop on the goal line. Like I was saying, you know, Rw9, I think, will be the more mechanical of the two players, but you'll probably feel like he's a bit off. Everybody feels like they're having an off day when they play against CRR when it comes to mechanics, because he makes the game as messy as possible. He makes the game as, I think, as comfortable for him as he can. He manages to force his will on absolutely everybody that he plays against. And how Rw9 handles that will be incredibly interesting to witness. Won't be a big difference though. When I say I think Rw9 is going to be the more mechanical player, I think it's going to be just in the precision moments. CRR has definitely got the pace, he's definitely got the power, and he's tied the game 3-3. From a quick turnaround, Rw9 with a bit of a greedy boost grab there. Not really enough of a fake on the ball to make that worthwhile. Yeah, if I had to predict a scoreline here, I would probably say Rw9 3-1, but 3-2 is also a decent likelihood. Rw9 tried to fall down onto the ball here after initially missing. He thought he could clip that as it was bouncing off the ceiling, missed, and then tried to be a bit too surprising with his touch as he came back down instead of just hitting the ball any which way that he could. So kickoff goal for Rw9 ties things up. Very strong hitbox on the inside. CRR is trying to push the ball to the outside there. Rw9 completely goal side from his POV, blocks it, and scores. Can't really follow up with a similar kickoff in the straight spawn. That's not to say that it isn't something that can yield big kickoff possession plays. Rw9 has got one, and he'll slot it for 5-4. CRR overextends. So will CRR switch the direction that he's flipping on kickoff here. Is he going to go right this time? He is indeed. Well, he's going to definitely cover the right side. Even though he didn't actually flip, he just had the wave dash recovery planned. That's what you've got to do on one's kickoffs. If you get crushed on one side, it's probably smart to dodge in the other direction the next time that you play from the center circle. He's not followed up with a goal though. Rw9, as usual, brick wall on the goal line, stops the flip reset and actually scores on the counter attack. Rw9 still able to, I think, just come out slightly better on kickoffs. He will dribble this one into his back corner for the small win. CRR's all over him, but he can't really do too much with that position. Rw9, full pitch air dribble. Little bit of a reset on it. CRR's counter-attacking shot lacks a lot of power. He wasn't anywhere near full power on that one. Fake wall challenge from CRR. Actually forces Rw9 to jump twice at the ball. And Rw9 is giving CRR a ton of space. He builds up speed, tries to flick the ball quickly. You have to be so precise with those straight line dribbles though. The difference between a complete miss and a flick and the fastest flick you've ever seen is just a millimeter or two of the ball being too far forward in your car. Oh wow, I don't think CRR meant that one, but he somehow connects perfectly with the flick at the end of his flip. Rw9 still manages to save it. Just a minute to go in game number 1. Rw9 misses on his long shot. It was just a bit too awkward for CRR to get back to though. And that puts the game heavily in Rw9's favour. He's got CRR exactly where he wants him. 2 goals down and possession in hand. That's not a boost that he can get though. CRR still with a good chance. Rw9 surprises him with an early challenge. He's been predominantly shadowing in this matchup, so that would have caught CRR off guard. Another failed flick for CRR. He's not had the power twice in a row now. I would have liked to see something a bit more committed on the last attack of the game. Well, what looks like it would have been the last attack of the game. Certainly the last meaningful attack of the game, because time is going to run out. CRR is going to lose game 1. Rw9 more consistent of the two players. CRR with the missed flicks, with one long-range power shot lacking a lot of power in this game. Means that he just didn't have what it takes to keep it close towards the end. Still, I think stylistically has what it takes to match up with Rw9 if he can just up his consistency a little bit. That really does seem to be the only difference. I don't think his style is necessarily bad against Rw9. CRR's style is exceptional against players who... Okay, looks like we do have players here. I'm just making sure. Yeah, CRR's style is exceptional against players who don't like to move the ball early, who like to wait as long as possible before making a move. Okay, CRR did join in time. I've just had to pay attention there to make sure that he got into the lobby before the kickoff countdown reaches 0. Not sure, I can't remember if I said thanks to JWill17 for the 7-month prime, but thank you either way, even if it is a double thank you. Oh, that's very aggressive from CRR. I think he had a decent read on how much boost Rw9 had, but still, he's got to be careful. There's CRR in a nutshell though. Rw9 would have put him on absolutely no boost. He knew that CRR had pretty much nothing, but CRR just goes for the ball anyway. And Rw9 had no idea that was coming. My voice doesn't sound as robotic as last time. Yeah, this time I'm actually streaming. We're not using a broadcaster to come at you guys through Discord like my last stream that I did. So it should be back to normal. It really is quite exceptional that CRR, who is so known for being one of the most aggressive defenders, one of the most aggressive challengers in the ones world, he still manages to surprise everybody that he plays against. And even when he's being read and he's being when his opponent's predicting these early moves, it doesn't end up being too disastrous for him. He really has found the balance, found a way to challenge as early as he can without going too all in too often. And I always say this in very passive 1v1 matchups, that you've got to go sometimes. There's some players who really could learn a lot from watching CRR play. He's got no hesitation, he's got no fear in his challenges. Rw9 knew that he was coming there, and smartly played the ball around him. But, you know, you've got to do this every now and then. Even if you do prefer to shadow, even if you do prefer to defend on your goal line instead of challenging, facing the ball, it is still smart to just go every once in a while to keep your opponent guessing. And that's something that CRR does not need to remind himself very often. See, he leans to the other side of the spectrum. Great shot there from Rw9. Again, predicting the early move from CRR. So you're starting to see what happens when an opponent does get a read on CRR's early challenges. And, you know, in the same way that passive players need to integrate aggression to their gameplay, CRR now has to try and integrate some more passive defensive strategies into his gameplay just to keep Rw9 guessing. Full pitch air dribble will get him a tie game. Rw9 is trying to dart into the corner with a chain dash there before CRR could realise. Looks like he just got one of them wrong, and that had him falling over to a halt. Drunk Babysitter, thanks to the Rw9 Prime, also 27-month Prime from Eric Ramgren. Welcome back to you. Nice move by CRR. Stayed active in the position, picking up small pads while Rw9 went for the corner. Yeah, and he spotted that that touch was a pretty poor one from Rw9. He didn't knock the ball to a safe location at all. Gengar, that's a name I've not heard for a while. So what's Gengar up to these days? Is he still playing with the... I hope he's still playing with the max camera distance. I really hope he is. Oh, what a shot. Good save though by CRR. Rw9 at the other end moments ago had a good read on a CRR mind game. Both players are putting a good introductory performance up for anyone who's not familiar with their playstyles. I know for the Ones fans and the Ones lovers of you, you're going to know who CRR and Rw9 are. They don't need an introduction. But to newer fans of the Rocket League scene and to fans of predominantly 3v3, these names might not be quite as well known, as they didn't play at any RLCS lands this season. Well, we came into this match expecting world-class defense, not just world-class, but simply class of his own defense from Rw9 when it comes to reading his opponent. Look at this. Rw9 could have double jumped to pop that if he saw CRR challenging, but he didn't because CRR didn't make a move, so he just deftly lobs it over him from close range. He really just held all the cards there, had every option available to him. He had the quick move ready, he had the slow move ready, and he picked the right one. 3-3. Whereas Rw9 has been putting defensive reads that really no one else can match, CRR has been putting up the offensive reads that really no one else can match. I think the only guy that I think can match CRR for these offensive reads, or I should probably say a different word because people are going to get confused. So, Rw9 is making the reads in defense on the back foot. CRR is making the defensive reads on the front foot. He's moving forward. The only player that really I think is up there with CRR is Khaled when it comes to that. Someone who almost never defends on the back foot, always moving forward when he can and makes it work to an incredibly high level. What's a save by Rw9. He's actually set up a counter-attack with that one. That is just brilliant. There really is no one in the world at this guy's level when it comes to shutting down opponents when they're coming at him with dangerous shots. He turns it around and sends it straight back into their net. That's a good shout actually for your KV1. But KV1 is like, he does it in a bit of a different way. I don't think KV1 really plays the same way that CRR and Khaled do because he just has the ball for so much of the game. I don't really know how to describe KV1. I think KV1 is completely unique because he just has the ball. He almost never doesn't have the ball. I don't know how. Mostly because his kickoff is on a different level, I'd say. When you've got a kickoff that's as good as KV1's and your possession control is as good as KV1's, your opponent doesn't really get any options to influence the game at all, but he definitely is aggressive, that's for sure. Great interception there from CRR. Another kind of dive bomb challenge attempt from Rw9. It goes amiss. I'd love to see one of these connect, but the reason that they don't connect very often is because they're not actually that viable. They're a bit of a silly position to be in. CRR Suddenly finds himself leading with just 14 seconds left. Quick turnaround after the boost grab. Pre-flip into CRR, into Rw9 for the demo. With not a long time left, he's got the lead. Wave dash recovery is going to put himself in a great position for the kickoff. And that's well played by CRR. He's just staying active here. He knows that Rw9 is the one who needs to make a play on the ball. Rw9 will get one play. It's a flick on target, which CRR will save and float into. Rw9, even on 0 seconds, is trying to get the boost on spawn there. He couldn't get it. It was actually CRR who picked it up and holds on for the Game 2 win there. Great stuff from CRR. Who do you guys think would be the other players to put in the most aggressive category? The most aggressive defenders in Rocket League. Yan is super aggressive. I don't think Yan defends aggressively though. I'm talking about just defense. You know, forget about offense. Naupo, yeah, possibly Naupo. Naupo does concede a lot more space than CRR and Khaled, however. TRK is, I think, just a very balanced player. He's kind of just like, he's very much in the middle for me when it comes to how aggressively he positions in defense. We're talking purely about defensive positioning here. Razebull is a good shout. Yeah, Razebull and Yan are both decent shouts for that, but I think Yan concedes a lot more space, and Razebull, I don't think he's got a mastery of early challenges, the same level as CRR and Khaled. He you know, tries to do it often to catch his opponent off guard, but then when they start to get a read on him, he's forced to switch up to a more passive defensive strategy, whereas CRR and Khaled, it almost never seems to stop. No matter how often they do it, they still find ways to keep on doing it, even if their opponent knows it's coming. That's why I think that they're kind of in a category of their own, and then KV1's in a different category because he just simply never does. He's just always got the ball. He just always has the ball. Nice shot. I thought CRR would have this one covered, but it looks like he didn't have enough boost to really launch himself into position to save this one. He knew where the shot was going to go, based on where Rw9 was, but yeah, he just didn't have the boost to fire himself into that one. Wave dash recovery kickoffs have been a decent resource for CRR today, trying to suppress Rw9, but even with this, he's still losing kickoff possessions, and this is a pretty dire situation for him to be in, because with Rw9 shooting, and with Rw9 rarely overextending, you're in a lot of trouble if you concede kickoff possessions every single time. I'd like to see him do what he did there, just a bit more, and that's go big on the inside with his kickoff hitbox. I think he's trying to like force the ball around Rw9 a bit too much instead of just going straight through him. Rw9 has scored a couple of kickoff goals when CRR has gone really big on the outside, and I think CRR definitely looks a bit, maybe he's not as comfortable with the setup for it, but he looks, I think, a lot better off when he tries to force the ball on the inside of Rw9. I'm going to like point out which direction that is for any new viewers, if I can remember to do so the next time we do get a kickoff. Well, we definitely should have had one there. Rw9 misses the open net. CRR lunges up the wall to dodge any potential demo Rw9 could make on the exit. Well, he could go well without a goal here if both players continue to send the ball full distance. Oh, never mind. CRR lands face first on the post, and that'll be a goal for Rw9 if he's quick to move this. He's not, though. CRR shuts the door in the near post, but still ends up completely boost starved and lunges in regardless. That's no surprise. Wave dash demo attempted. Wave dash demo dodged by Rw9, and again CRR is able to close the door on the near post shot, but Rw9 continues to pile on the pressure, and CRR continues to find those openings to time his touch perfectly, and just like that, he's got a turnover of possession. That was actually fantastic play from CRR. Rw9 at full boost, he had possession, he thought he just had a free touch on the ball, then suddenly CRR out of nowhere takes it away from him. CRR is still unable to get a big possession play. Rw9 will not go all in here. He's got a 3-goal lead. He's just going to sit on this and wait for a better chance. Oh, he's not going to get one. CRR chases him into his net with the threat of a backwall demo. and then slots a very nice shot. That's a tough one to hit quickly. CRR wastes no time. Sniping the top corner. Now let's see what he does on the kickoff. So I think he should be trying to get goal side and force the ball to the right here if he wants to get a good hitbox. He goes to the outside, and again, he's lost it pretty badly. That's a free ball for Rw9. I got to think that CRR is going to have a better option if he goes to the outside. Rw9 punishes him for the weak kickoff with a gorgeous top corner flip reset. I mean, he's just really nailed that one. CRR on the straight spawn should fare a bit better, but he's yet to realize, I think, that his strong side on the kickoff is the inside, even though it's something he's attempted a few times. Oh my goodness. Well, CRR, he had Rw9 going the wrong way there, but the ball hit the inside of the post and actually bounced back towards Rw9's location. Bit fortunate for the Saudi Arabian pro player. For all his dominance in this game when it comes to kickoffs and possession, it is still a scoreline that CRR can come back from. It's getting worse and worse as time goes by. Rw9 makes it a 4-goal difference. Another back corner demo. This time he does convert on it. So, CRR, what's it going to be on the kickoff? Again, for any new viewers here, he should be going left if he wants to get a decent option, but he goes to the right, and again he loses it. So, if you're wondering why is it obvious to me as the viewer that he should be going one way, what is it that we can actually identify when we're watching world-class players play that's much harder? I want to point this out. It's much harder to notice this when you're playing. Well, it's because I can see both POVs. I can see what Rw9 is doing. I can see what CRR is doing. So here he should be going to the right. He goes left, and it kind of goes even. I think he's got a big win if he goes right there. I think he really does. But yeah, the side that Rw9 is guarding is the outside edge. He's blocking CRR on the side that CRR happens to be leaning towards, and that's something CRR has to notice, and he has to switch and start hitting the ball the other way, because that's the side that Rw9 is actually a lot more open on. It's the biggest change you can make in your kickoff game to improve your outcome. If you're losing kickoffs again and again because you're just doing the same kickoff over and over again, it's probably time to flip the other way when you reach the ball, and it's going to work an unbelievable amount of time. So CRR, he's got to go left here. He's got to like at least block the ball to the left. He goes right, and it's in his net. Yeah, he hasn't noticed. He just hasn't realized. I think he might be a bit tilted here. The only thing I can think of, he says next. Okay, so he says GG's. So I'll just go ahead and end this one. Whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take away your goals. It's the only 2 goals that he got there. But he's forfeited the game. That's fair enough, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. I don't ever make players play out a game that is this far gone. Okay. The only reason I can think that CRR would not switch his flip direction on kickoffs there is that he's saving it for the last game. He might have just decided, okay, I think this game's a bit too far gone. If I can't win it in midfield play, then I'll just go to the next game. And maybe, so if his opening kickoff of this game is big on the inside, then I think it's fine to just continue going the wrong way in the previous game. But to reiterate, he's spawning left. That means he's got to flip left. That's the weak side of Rw9. Okay, that's fine as well. This is another option that he's got. He's just faked the kickoff entirely, like that from CRR. So he saved that. He didn't use that at the end of the last game. So he's, again, like I said, probably thought it was already over. No point showing that strategy in a game that appears to be lost. So he's saved that switch up, and it's immediately worked in the 4th game. And after surviving another Rw9 aerial play, CRR fires long for 1-0. So curious to see what CRR is going to do to try and even out this kickoff disadvantage, though. Well, he's right back to what he did before. This time, it's worked for him. So it looks like Rw9 is actually switch direction. He's going to dodge before CRR does. It's a funny little nuance there in 1v1 is that sometimes a player who's winning kickoffs decides to change up what they're doing just to keep their opponent guessing, and then, funnily enough, their opponent hasn't changed anything, so it doesn't work at all. CRR sticking to his guns. He's just doing the same kickoff every single time he does go for the ball. Only difference being sometimes he wave dashes, sometimes he flips. But Rw9 loses one for the first time in a while. Oh, there you go. Okay, well, CRR, he went the right way on this one, and you might be thinking, well, Johnny, you said he was going to win a kickoff. What's the ball doing in his half? Well, he has won the kickoff. He's got the ball, so it worked. There's more to winning kickoffs than hitting the ball directly into your opponent's net. He had a bit of a hard time getting back to that one quickly. Very nice air dribble though. He had a bit of a hard time controlling the ball in the back corner. Almost missed the boost grab. But he did end up getting it. Much better start here for Rwas as he tries to send us into a game 5. He's bumped Rwas off the boost there. Huge play from CRR. Can he go up 4 goals? Again, this flick not really doing too much work for him. I'd like to see more of an angle of it on his approach from CRR. What a monstrous shot that is from Rwas. From deep inside his own half, he absolutely launches one over the top of CRR. Just lifted himself up into the ball there. Huge hit. Yeah, sorry if anyone watching wants to see more of Rwas on kickoffs. I am watching a ton of CRR here, just to see what he decides to do. He's got a bit unfortunate there. He went for a similar kind of idea, bumping Rwas off the mid boost. This time Rwas landed on it. It's a good job by Rwas to stay with it. And at least now that now that CRR's got his teeth into the kickoff game, now that he seems to have figured out a way to at least go somewhat even on the majority of them. There we go. Look at that, guys. He went left and he scores. CRR's done it. He's actually done it. A genuine round of applause here, because this is so hard to figure this out in the middle of a game. It is so difficult when you're full focused on what you're doing, when you're in your flow state, to take a step back for a second and just think, wait a minute, I should be flipping the other way in the kickoff here. So great job by CRR. He spawns left, flips left, scores a kickoff goal immediately. Thank goodness he did that. Otherwise, I would never have got a payoff for the 10 times I've talked about it. That's wonderful to see. Yeah, just to clarify again, I want to make this as easy to understand for all of the new viewers who are tuning in. I know there's always a few new viewers, especially on YouTube. It's not about flipping left only. It's spawn left, flip left, or spawning left and flipping left is the same as spawning right and flipping right. So here he spawned left, he should be flipping left to go into Rwas's weak side. At least the weak side that Rwas has presented for all of today. Yeah, that's what you need to remind yourself, is that if you spawn left and you flip right and it doesn't work, and then you spawn on the right, flip to the right. Because spawning right and flipping right is the same as spawning left and flipping left. It's the same thing. Because it's mirrored. It's symmetry, ladies and gentlemen. I promise I'll make a video at some point just breaking all this down for you. I tried to explain it as best I can during show matches, but it is very complicated for new viewers to just get their, get their full understanding of the vast kickoff meta that's developed in 1v1 as of late. It's so interesting to me as a long-time viewer, when back in the day kickoffs used to just be one strategy. Players would go into a match with literally one kickoff strategy, and if it didn't work, you lost. But now there's dozens. People don't get it. People don't get what? The symmetry. The spawn right, spawn left, flip left. It's the safe side. It's the safe way to flip, basically. Because your goal side, you need to be directly between the ball and your goal, and then you flip towards the side that you spawned on. It's just the safest, most solid, most fundamental kickoff strategy to try. However, if both players do it, if both players are doing the exact same strat, then you can try flip the other way, such as spawning left, flipping right, spawning right, flipping left. That's only scratching the surface of kickoff strats. That's, like I said, the most important and the first thing that you should know how to do. But you can just not go for the ball at all, like we've seen from CRR once in this series. You could just fake it as well. It's completely viable. It's also completely viable to just half flip onto the boost on diagonal spawn every now and then. What if you spawn in the middle? Well, if you spawn in the middle, funnily enough, the middle is actually the kickoff that results in the most equal possession and goal distribution. Nice double from Rwas. Spotted the open backboard. CRR boost starved. Yeah, the central spawn doesn't yield too many kickoff goals actually, so you don't really need to worry too much about that one. Oh, it's a fantastic touch from CRR. Rwas has somehow stayed with it though. That is brilliant from Rwas. CRR thought he'd done enough here. He's right there. He dodges into the ball in such a way that he can get it into the back corner and land on the boost. But Rwas actually rolled into the center, and he was just there for the ball arriving. That's brilliant play by both players. I mean, CRR really couldn't do anything else there. He needed to get the back corner boost if he was going to have any chance of getting back to the ball. That's exactly what he did. But Rw9 was just, it's almost as if he teleported into the box and just beat him to it. Phenomenal stuff. Rw9 trying to complete his comeback in game number 4 by putting himself in front late on in the game. Sufficient fake challenge there from CRR, forces the shot early. Rw9 tried to do likewise. He didn't really dispossess CRR. That's the best flick CRR's had in a while. Rw9 somehow saves it by pinching the ball, squashing the ball into his own top corner. Played for the back wall demo. CRR ready and waiting for it. He's got a bit of an angle on that dribble now, so he's able to get the flick to the top corner more consistently. Love that from CRR. He's not just dribbling straight towards the center of the goal. He's going slightly to the side. And he'll have the last chance before 0 seconds here. It's a tough one to get started. Yeah, CRR not able to get that ball into a position that he can air dribble with. And now Rw9 is the one threatening. CRR stays away from the demo. We've got a kickoff goal overtime. Or kickoff goal, maybe I've just foreshadowed it. I meant to say a kickoff overtime. Let's find out if that indeed was scripted. With CRR having an early shot. Pre-flip from Rw9 saves it. Okay, no scripts. No scripts, trust me. Not pre-recorded. Can CRR get us into game 5? Once again, just that slight angle in his dribble. I like that slight change up that he's made in his dribbling approach. It's given him a more consistent flick launch as he starts to rattle the top corners of the goal consistently. Now the mind game. Rw9's boost management is decent. CRR's is better. And he wins to send us into game 5. He held on there. And all it took was one deflecting dodge to keep the ball alive in the final third. Rw9 is trying to get a 50-50 there. CRR did not give him one. He just got a clean touch on the ball to outplay him, and he had enough boost to get back to it to finish it off. Brilliant stuff. Now, I'm glad we're going to game 5 here so we can talk about other aspects of the game than kickoffs. I don't expect the kickoff to play as much of a factor anymore, but the reason I was talking about it so much is because it decided game 3. It really did. It decided game 3. And usually these days when a kickoff is going so strongly in one player's favour, the other player will switch it up, and CRR just wasn't doing it. So I've got to talk about it as the commentator. I've got to be honest with you guys and say he should be changing something here, and he's just not doing it. So I think now he's made the necessary adaptations, and we should get more of a midfield game like we saw earlier on in the series. Champion, thanks to the 3-month tier 1. Also, Z333 Bra, thanks to the brand new Prime. Thy Art is drumming. And Don't Call Me Brad, thanks to the brand new Primes as well. And Hugs.io. Welcome to all of you. There'll be Bears, thanks to the 24-month Prime. You said catching a Twitch stream 2 months in a row. You might be becoming a Twitch main now. Yeah, you must be. I mean, thanks for swinging by from YouTube though. Detweiler22, thanks to the 17-month. Hope you're having a good one as well. And also, Aussie Wazzy Robbie, thanks to the 4-month Prime. Good to have you back. So, we've talked a lot about what CRR needs to do differently. You know, to generate more power in his flicks, all he needed was a bit of an angle in the approach to get more of a midfield game instead of a kickoff battle. He just had to switch it up a little bit more. So he's made those changes. What does Rw9 need to do to get the game 5 win here? You know, for me, I think Rw9 has to just try to keep CRR guessing. As long as CRR is having to guess what Rw9 is doing instead of being absolutely sure, just lunging forward at the ball, then I think he's going to get the win here. I think as long as he gets a ton of lateral movement on the ball side to side, he should be able to get around CRR enough to stop him. Notice again there, CRR just leaning slightly to one side, opening up the angle to threaten the flick. Rw9 not falling for it. Great demo by Rw9. Oh, he's just one step ahead there. CRR trying to get a counter-attack started down the middle. I think with the boost being stolen there, that play doesn't really work. And maybe if you're going to go for an immediate counter-attack down the center of the field, you want to be leaving your back corner boost up to try and bait the boost steal. But the boost was gone, so Rw9 really had nothing else to play for there other than the demo or the ball. And CRR, being stuck on the wall, kind of made himself a target. Oh, no way. Has Rw9 pull shot a save here? No, he's just missed on saving this. The ball rolls into the bottom corner. Nice dodge there by CRR. Looks like you did indeed put that on target at the last second. Rw9 unable to get back to the ball quickly enough to stop CRR here, who fakes him at the near post and gets within one. That's a interesting follow-up here from CRR. I think Rw9 has identified that the flicks are becoming a bit more threatening. Even though Rw9 is, I think, one of the best in the world at saving those top corner boomer flicks, he's still not going to be loving the sight of them flying towards his goal. So CRR, upping the quality of his flicks, has forced Rw9 to pre-jump there, respecting the flick quality. And that leaves the bottom corner open for the mine gate. Wow, what a move by CRR. He spots the reverse challenge. And look at the control with the outplay. Rw9 thought he was going to be completely obscured by the ball there. Thought he could sneak in a challenge right next to CRR's box. CRR saw it coming. Looks like Rw9 is going to get another kickoff goal, though. What has gone wrong here for CRR? I looked at my chat for a second. Oh no, it's the same thing as, it's literally the same thing as before. He's just spawning left, flipping right. CRR, you gotta stop doing this. This is Rw9's strong side. Oh, that should have been a goal. That should have been a goal. And you know what, CRR, for all of his failure to change up his kickoff strat, he almost got a goal from it there because Rw9 switched his. Like I said earlier, a lot of top tier players these days who are winning kickoffs switch up what they're doing, anticipating their opponent switching what they're doing. CRR's not changing his strat here. Rw9 can literally just go on the inside every single kickoff and he'll be fine. Don't know if he knows that though. He's definitely got the mechanics of the flip resets though. It's just been a bit better in that regard today. I think CRR is slightly afraid to go for those really big flip reset plays against Rw9 because Rw9's defense against them is so brutally efficient that if he does get a save, the counterattack is probably on for him. You know, part of the benefit of flip reset plays these days is that you're usually forcing your opponent into a precarious position even if they do make a save, whereas Rw9, he just seems fine. He saves the flip reset and counterattacks, so that's stopping CRR from playing for it as often as he'd like to. I think he's got a save here. Rw9 blocks it. Great read by the Middle Eastern player. His shot was lackluster, but he knew that there was only one way that CRR could save this, and that was by hitting it into the back corner. Rw9 there to block it. 2-goal difference again. Boost grab for Rw9. CRR just narrowly missing the demo there. Was close. Now Rw9 launches the ball high multiple times. That's a great touch to set up a shot for himself, which he hasn't done too well with, and the boost isn't there for him to steal either. Oh, big mistake by Rw9 here. Continuing the attack a bit too quickly. He needed to take one more pot shot if you wanted that boost to be available to steal on that left-hand side. It was not yet spawned, so if he's going to try and boost starve CRR, you need to go for one boost then the other, not the same boost twice in a row. That makes me think that he was probably just trying to score a top shelf shot there and mishit it badly. Now CRR with a direct air dribble into the bump. He's hit the bar, but I think he's got time to get around this. CRR quickly rotates and scores the equalizer once again. 6-all. Air dribble demo connects. And you know, I've been critical of CRR not switching up certain aspects of his game, but he really has kept Rw9 guessing with the air dribbles today. He's played some of them standard. He's played some of them with bumps on the end. And the setup for both looks identical. You can never tell the difference when CRR is coming at you. He doesn't have any boost here. Rw9 has read that perfectly. He knew the limitations of CRR in that position. He knew that there was no way CRR could launch that into the top corner. Rw9, knowing exactly where his goal was and knowing that CRR would not be able to get the ball on target, did not panic jump at a ball that he did not need to get in the air for. 1-goal difference again. Can CRR come back one more time? He's recovered brilliantly here. Rw9 pre-flip was a real threat the CRR had to deal with. He's back in the air though. This time it's the reset, but Rw9 dives in, shuts it down. Open net for Rw9. And he got the good touch, so he didn't even need to shoot it. 8-6. Rw9 defense, too good again. Counter-attack. Wide open for him after a strong save. Oh wow. CRR's managed to steal that boost by landing underneath Rw9 there. He should be able to break down Rw9's defense here. Even a defender like Rw9, surely he's going to struggle to hold off. Well, I spoke too soon. Rw9 is fine. He's just more than fine. He's almost scoring. And now he's got CRR in a world of trouble, and Rw9 intelligently dribbles the ball back. He's letting the clock win the game for him. Now he's wasting even more time with an air dribble into a 50. Strong landing from Rw9. Quick shot. Puts this series beyond all doubt. CRR kept it close. He was competitive in most aspects here. I think really, like I've said all day, the only criticism I've got is he was a bit too consistent with a losing kickoff strategy. But he still kept it interesting and made Rw9 fight till the bitter end. 8-6 game 5. Rw9 wins. GG's. Appreciate these guys coming on and putting on a show for us. Fantastic games.